Space Australia, also known as Catch a Camper, off there fighting 20-foot tall spiders. Okay, so now we have priority Cerberus headquarters. That is something. That's the end. That's the end point. I remember that now, and people have told me that is the end game. You go straight from Cerberus headquarters, and then it's Earth. It's the final battle.
What kind of soldier looks at a camp?
So
Tally's taking what happened on Horizon hard.
what I'm gonna
She's in the
do
lounge if you want to check on her.
is not that yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Leviathan DLC now because that won't take very long. And then next stream, I'm going to dedicate, next stream of Mass Effect, I'm going to dedicate it to doing as much of the Citadel DLC. And then probably one more episode stream for the finale. We'll do the whole shebang. We'll do Cerberus headquarters, all of Earth, and finish this. During the end of this game to the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny is... Man. I just remember that now. Oh. That was a fucking classic. Man, the internet used to be so cool. Old Godzilla was stomping around Tokyo City like a big playground when suddenly Batman burst from the shade. Godzilla with a bat grenade. Godzilla got pissed and began to attack, but he didn't expect to be blocked by Shaq, who proceeded to open up a can of Shaq Fu when Aaron Carter came out of the blue and he started beating up Shaquille O'Neal. Then they both got flattened by the Batmobile before he could make it back to the Batcave. Abraham Lincoln popped out of his grave, pulled an AK-47 out from under his hat, blew Batman away with a rat-a-tat-tat. Then he ran out of bullets and he ran away because Optimus Prime came to save the day. This is the ultimate showdown. I still remember it. Godzilla took a bite out of Optimus Prime, like Scruff McGruff took a bite out of Crime, and Shaq came back covered in a tire track. And Jackie Chan jumped in and landed on his back, and Batman was injured and trying to get steady when Abraham Lincoln came back with a
Do you
machete.
need ground transport?
But wait, Abraham Lincoln come back with a machete, but suddenly something caught his leg and he tripped. Indiana Jones took him out with his whip, then he saw Godzilla sneaking up from behind, and he reached for his gun, which he just couldn't find because Batman stole it, and he shot and he missed. And and then Jackie Chan deflected it with his fist, and he jumped in the air and did a somersault while Abraham Lincoln tried to pull a vault onto Optimus Prime, but they collided in the air, and they both got hit by a Care Bear stare. This is the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Good guys, bad guys, and explosions. As far as the eye can see. And only one will survive. I wonder who it will be. This is the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I know there's more, but you don't need me to sing it. Just how much of that shit did I like? I don't know how does that stay in my head? Like, I know the entire lyrics more or less to this fucking Flash video from like 20 years ago. Angels sang out in an immaculate chorus. Down from the heavens descended Chuck Norris, who delivered a kick which could shatter bones into the crotch of Indiana Jones, who fell over on the ground, writhing in pain, while Batman changed back into Bruce Wayne. But Chuck saw through his clever disguise, and he crushed Batman's head in between his thighs. And then Gandalf the Grey, and Gandalf the White, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight, and Benito Mussolini, and the Blue Meanie, Cowboy Curtis and Zombie the Genie, Robocop the Terminator, Captain Kirk and Darth Vader, Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger, Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan, Spock the Rock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan all came out of nowhere, lightning fast, and they kicked Chuck Norris's cowboy ass. It was the bloodiest battle that the world ever saw. Fuck.
Cultivating serenity is possible even during times of crisis.
Yeah, Chuck Norris jokes. Remember those?
Thank you for shopping at
Remember Chuck Norris jokes? It's funny because, like, I remember Chuck Norris jokes. I remember not knowing, and still kind of not really knowing, who Chuck Norris even is. Like, I didn't know who he was at the time. I just went with the jokes because I thought they were funny.
Welcome to Casa Fabrication Weaponry. Proceeds from all purchases go to help our men and women serving in the Alliance. Thank you for shopping at Casa Fabrication Weaponry. Welcome to Nosastra Sporting Goods.
I think I'm just gonna buy pretty much everything. I'm not gonna buy the armors because they're expensive.
Shoot, Nosastra. Good hunting.
Fight raged on for a century, many lives acclaimed, but eventually the champion stood. The rest saw the better. Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater.
Welcome to Agor Munitions. Our customer service specialists
He's a
are
meme.
always interested in shopping.
Welcome to Sippertine Armory.
Professional grade equipment at reasonable prices. That's Sippertine.
Thank you for shopping at
Technologians.
Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater.
I just don't understand why
I also don't remember. I also didn't really know who Mr. Rogers was. And then the ending of the video is Mr. Rogers like committing seppuku, like falling on his own sword. Oh, go to the land of the ship. I forgot about that. You can go to the ship and you can see Tally drunk. We'll do that quick. I think that one's bugged too. Dr. Chakwas keeps wanting to talk to me. This save is so borked. I don't know how it happened, but it's like... There she is. She's drunk.
Shepard! Want a drink? I'm toasting Miranda, I think.
How are you getting drunk?
Very carefully. Torian brandy, triple filtered, then introduced into the suit through an emergency induction port.
That's a straw, Tally.
Emergency induction port. It's actually getting a little harder to get it into the slot.
Ah, that's funny. That is a good... It's a good line read.
She was so rude. What did Jack call her?
Good line read.
Cerberus
Emergency induction
cheerleader.
port. Just like, and she
With her
like
perfect
reiterates it so
jeans
seriously. Oh,
And that attitude and still, she got it done. She stopped her father.
two girls with daddy issues.
I didn't realize this would be so hard on you.
I didn't like her. Keela, she was such a bitch. But I respected her. Sometimes that's better than liking. She did whatever it took to stop her father. She never gave in to him, never changed herself to please him. Don't me. You sound like a Vorcha.
Seeing a bit of yourself in Miranda fighting her father?
I spent my life trying to live up to him. Then making up for his mistakes, doing what he'd have wanted.
It's never that easy.
When do we get to stop reacting to our parents and start living for ourselves.
Joke's on you. This shepherd didn't have any parents. They're the Earthborn shepherd. They didn't have any.
The answer to that one's at the bottom of that glass.
I might need help with the induction straw. Port. You know.
Here's to Miranda.
Nice job, you genetically perfect Cerberus cheerleader Boschtet.
I'm assuming that's a swear word. I like how it was very important when the Alliance was retrofitting the ship to add a poker table. Oh, Dr. Chocolate's right. Bioware really had a human problem, Mass Effect, aside from maybe Zaid too angry to die. Masani, the rest of the humans are so fucking bland. Gotta get those TNG and ref. Yeah, I was gonna say it feels very TNG having like the little side area with the poker table. But like, I don't know. Are the human characters in this game? Commander Shepard, Caden, Ashley, James, Miranda, Jacob, Jack, Kasume. Am I forgetting anyone? I was focusing on companions first. Anderson. Anderson's a good character. He's not bland. He's actually very interesting as like your mentor slash kind of father figure. Udina is funny. The bits and pieces of the elusive man are kind of cool, but he kind of does go crazy in 3. He kind of just becomes crazy man. I do like Cortez. I haven't spoken to Cortez yet. I don't care about Cortez.
Remember our agreement? We'd open a bottle of cerise ice brandy every year.
Joker. How
It's
did I
my
forget
turn to
Joker?
buy.
Joker's fun.
But it hasn't been a year yet.
Joker's like
Yes.
Joker's like the
Something tells
first
me we
character
won't
you
have the
see in like
chance
the
a few
entire,
months
or
from
like the
now.
first character who speaks in the entire
Indulge my
game, in the
impatience.
entire series.
You grab the glasses. I'll open the bottle.
he
And
says
Jeff
like
Jack.
whatever.
Jacqueline, subject 0. Sorry, but it's ma'am to me. I'd like to keep my Admiral Winky. Oh, Shepard. You know, I just realized. You've never called me by my first name.
Nobody calls me by my first
Well,
name.
neither have you.
And I never will. You are Commander Shepard, hero of the Citadel, conqueror of the Collectors, savior of the galaxy. Using your first name just disrespects
Okay,
everyone you're
Dina,
fighting for.
The
Alive
soul
or
sensible.
gone.
Okay, Udina, don't give. You can't call all these other
That
people
makes
joining the Space
no
KKK and then talk about Udina. Udina
Consider it a
went
latest
nuts and
prerogative.
joined and signed up with Cerberus.
Let's have a toast.
To a woman I'm proud to call my friend. I am lucky to have you with me, Karen.
And to you, dear friend. It is my great honor to share this journey with you. Commander Shepard. And good fortune to
It's
us.
also interesting. This character is so like, Dr. Chocolates has been here.
Even a Krogan could
Like
be
she's been here since the beginning. Like she's one of the first characters you can talk to on that shit on the first game. You have Caden and Joker are talking at the bridge, and then you go off. Then you walk down the length of like the thing towards the command center, the control. It was like the CIC in the original Normandy. You can talk to Presley, and then just past them is Jenkins talking with Dr. Chakwas. You entered your first name, it's not Fallout 4. Yeah. Of course, like, I remember they fucking were like, hey guys, Fallout fucking 4, your robot will say your name. We added a bunch of names. They even updated it with like 6 or 7, like maybe not 6 or 7, like with like dozens of other names after like in a later update. Udina was sensible, but everyone hated him, so they sellotaped him to the space KKK. Well, I think, like, Udina always tries to, like, outmaneuver you, is the thing. Like, he seems like... He always tries to outmaneuver you. Like, you even going as far back as Mass Effect 1, he willingly sidelines you after Saren. Despite there being the risk of, or, like, after, you know, to stop you from going after him in the conduit. He purposely sidelines you as like a political thing. So he was never like 100%. She's the Force human if you're not counting Anderson over the comms. Yeah, true. You know, you actually you talk with her before you even talk with Anderson first face to face for the first time. But I have lost my train of thought. Oh, Udina always struck me as very like he was clearly self-serving. You know, Udina was very self-serving. He was very much, I think, interested in getting himself in positions of in positions of authority. All right, so let's do it. We're gonna do the Leviathan DLC. We're just gonna do it, wasting time. All right, so this is gonna start getting Cthulhu-like. You ready? Got some Lovecraft influence. As was the style at the time, Mass Effect has Lovecraft influences. God, as is the style still.
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for progress report.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley, could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
Alliance resources are stretched pretty thin. Is this really worth the time?
Just imagine if
the
this
weirdest
task
human
force
model in
had
the game.
existed
Yeah,
3
this is
years
clearly
ago
a
when we
human
discovered
model
the Prothean
post
beacon.
the game where they
This
tried to
whole
make
war
him
might not
look
have happened.
higher
Now, with
res,
new
and
information
it
we've
looks
uncovered,
awful.
A breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
No!
What if I don't? Oh. Why was there was a Paragon interrupt there and I just didn't click
This
it.
is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
He's kind
You
of
shouldn't
melting.
be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine, but I could use your help
I
sorting
will
this
say,
oddity.
Edie in that uniform
Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
is nice.
At once.
I don't. It just
What?
Edie in that
What's
uniform
happening?
is hotter than Edie naked.
You just shot your boss. He's dead. Why?
After you arrived, it was dark. Cold.
Hey, person who started talking about
Like
your
I
weird
was
space
somewhere
dreams
else.
to the space you went. Don't fuck this
That
up.
wasn't me.
Take a good look. You did that. You pulled the trigger and killed him.
No. No. I couldn't have. No! I'm not a murderer.
I saw you pull the trigger. Then you tried to kill me.
I swear I didn't.
This would be really funny if like Shepard was just
It
trying to
does
like
resemble reports of
frame him.
indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
If you want to go,
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say this
Commander,
DLC kind of starts at like a
you'll want to
breakneck
see
pace.
It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson
Gaslight
to Admiral
keeps
Hackett.
quick, boss.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief.
This.
About 20
I know
years
what this
ago,
is. This is,
the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed.
this is the capital of hell in the Divine Comedy. In Inferno.
That's the real Leviathan.
It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field.
I like how you
teams as if
two
they're hunting
are
Leviathan
sharing the same
themselves.
brain cell.
Whatever it is, I believe
Thank you,
Leviathan
Chad.
is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator. And it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war.
This man is a
formally
Reaper. Look at his
requesting
fucking
assistance in
face.
tracking
Jesus
him down.
Christ. I know we've mentioned it already, but like...
This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
I see Bryson's point. Anything capable of bringing a Reaper down is worth finding.
Despite the potential dangers it could pose, I would agree.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Is Edie's tits bigger in this outfit, or is it just me?
Field researcher.
I'm sorry, I'm
May
distracted
yield
by
more
robot
information.
boobs.
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this Project Travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper Killer's movements.
Now that you mention it,
Check
I
in when I
think
get to
they
the next
are.
site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a
Like,
destination.
they are. Look, they're... Oh, damn, I wish it was showing her still, but...
He's out there somewhere. We need him.
I'll do what I can. Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan.
So I remember this is like a little bit of like a
It
scavenger
may help
hunt.
us locate Garneau.
Return of the Battle Tits.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No.
So you essentially have to find like the right
down his
clickables in this location to like
If we
narrow
find
down
clues he was using in his
where
search
the
for
Leviathan is, which is supposedly some sort of like thing that could murder Reapers. This is also a case of we have $35 to make this DLC, so how do we get the most out of like 3 locations?
These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you
If
filter
you press
for
the head
murders
3
where the killer
times, it
claimed memory
explodes.
loss?
Really?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the Galaxy Map program.
Hey, you better not be lying. I feel like I'm being told to click on a sheep in like Warcraft, an old Warcraft game. Blow up. Wait, is that an LE thing? Why would they do that? If that's an LE thing, that's bizarre. Can you keep the head? Yeah, that would be funny. I've done it before, so I believe you, but like that's really weird if it's an LE thing. Like I don't know why they would change that. Although it would be funny, Lugor, if like you could keep that as like a shepherd puts it on their desk in their on the Normandy.
Sovereign, vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
Shepherd not above, mocking sovereign.
You think it's relevant?
Possibly. But it is impossible to say without more data. And the decryption key.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's
I remember when this DLC first came out, and it was like, oh, this is DLC that fills the hole in the lore of, like, things.
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
You know, it's interesting how a lot of these DLCs work better when they're sort of integrated into the game. And what I mean by that is that, like, it's mostly like a mental thing, I feel like. It's like when you get this DLC, we fill the hole in the lore, which one? Yeah, but then, oh, I need to get the fucking rim shot as a sound effect. Yeah, really. Like when you, back in the day, you play through the main game and then this stuff comes out after the fact as DLC, it's kind of like, you know, it's sort of like separate, that it was made sort of in a vacuum from everything else, kind of. Where when you get like the Ultimate Edition or the legendary remaster, and it's all together in one game and it's all contiguous, it's all, you can play it all there, you know, start to front, it fits better. Even though it's just like a mental thing, you know. I just checked, you can keep the head. El Jartho will pop in and fuck with it at some point if you keep talking to him. Oh, okay.
Loch Ness Monster?
Plesiosaur.
Loch Ness Monster's more interesting.
Interesting and non-existent.
The Thorian. Oh, remember the Thorian? Thorian, yeah, I remember this. I remember the Thorian. The Thorian is like such a like a case of like, wow, this is huge, and then it like never gets mentioned again.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
The photographs have a trace chemical residue. It may be visible under another light source. Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. EDI, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Adding this search
the
filter
vegan
to the
nutsack.
galaxy map.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Scope.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need Ezo?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Adding the search filter now.
I do like, this is nice because it does add, there are some red herrings. Not every single one of these is useful, I remember.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis. But I detect no trace of the decryption key in this... art.
You're taking it too literally, Edie.
Looks like data on the Rachni.
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong. And Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
This man is just explaining, like, fan theories.
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. We saw a data pad containing data on Rachni movements earlier. It may be relevant. The Rachni data.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding it now. Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute.
The code, the numbers, what do they mean?
Take a look at that.
Professor Reddit.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
He is.
All right. Let's
just
get
like
back to the
Reddit
data
fan
pad we
theories.
found
Oh, the Rachni were gonna fight the Reapers. The Rachni were actually a bioweapon created by an ancient species as a means of fighting the Reapers.
I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding...
You just activated a sleeper cell. What is that number in chat? Someone has just woken up. That was someone's code phrase. Wait, what are we decrypting? Ah.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Doing so now.
Oh, the numbers in the show Lost that just ended up being weird. I remember loving the first season of Lost. I thought it was so cool as like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old that like, what is going on in this island? What are all these mysteries? Fucking all this shit is so interesting. Oh my god, I remember the end. They want to blow open the hatch and they find the dynamite or the TNT or whatever the fuck, and they're gonna blow open the hatch, and the fat guy sees that the numbers, his like unlucky numbers, are on the hatch. And he's like, no, he's trying to put it out, and the hatch blows out and like blows up, and then they like look into the hatch, and then it's like end of season 1. And then I remember watching like the first 2 episodes of season 2, and I'm like, I don't like this anymore. That was my experience with Lost. Are we missing a category? There should be like one right there, right? I'm gonna one more search, unless there's like a odd number for some reason. I think I've clicked all the clickables. Watched the rest later and I fucking hated it. That's what I hear for a lot of people. Okay, creature sightings.
Alien sightings?
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless
I don't know,
wish
you probably
to
won't hear it through
further
the microphone,
search.
but tomorrow is today is the 30th of obviously here still. Tomorrow is Canada Day. It's the 1st of July. It's Canada Day. It's our national day here in Canada. And so, as is expected, people are going to be using fireworks not tomorrow, but also tonight. Not just tomorrow, but also tonight. So you probably won't hear them, but if you do, that's what that is.
Reaper activity.
Oh, fucking teleported. Jesus.
3 possibilities.
Element 0 deposits.
No. Maybe?
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go.
Oh, was that
find
it? I did
Garneau.
it. That was it. That was correct. Wow. I got the achievement conspiracy theorist. Use clues to pinpoint the location. That's neat too that it lets you just like go and just figure it out. That's kind of interesting. This is all young folk in the early 2000s nostalgia memories. Yeah. God. It was the early 2000s. It was all about like the internet and being allowed on the internet too young, playing video games that were not meant for someone as young as I was, and watching TV shows and movies that were not meant for someone as young as I was. All of my childhood was essentially engaging with media that was not meant for a child of my age. You know what it was? It was being given GTA San Andreas for my 12th birthday. I have two funny stories about parents and video games that are not appropriate. One of them with my father and one of them with my stepfather, and they're very different. So the one of them with my father, I remember it was around the time Mass Effect 1 came out, and it was Mass Effect 1, and I was playing Mass Effect 1 and loved it. I loved Mass Effect 1. And of course there was the whole controversy about there is a hardcore violent sex scene in this video game for children. Of course that was the narrative when there wasn't more than like a butt. And also the game was rated M for mature, which is set in North America, which is 17 plus. At 2 seconds of a blue butt. And so I remember my dad asked me about have you that game? It's like, you playing this? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And then seeing that he had, I believe it was like a magazine or a newspaper that had an article about like different games of the year, and he had read it. And one of the things was mentioning the sex scene controversy in Mass Effect and him going like kind of tut-tutting at it. The fact that he didn't buy me that game, my mom did, and therefore he wouldn't have bought me that game, obviously being the conclusion. And then the other one I had with my stepfather was actually involving Grand Theft Auto. My stepfather took me and my stepbrother to an EB Games to go and buy a video game of our choice. Each of us could buy a video game. And I found a really nice, for the original Xbox, a collector's pack of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas all together. And I picked that because it was cool and it was also on sale. And so I picked that. And I said, can I buy this game? Or can you buy me this game? And he's like, yes, but you have to be the one, as a character building moment, you have to be the one to take it to the cashier and put it on the counter and say, I'd like to buy this. You can do that, you can do it, teaching you how to do this kind of stuff. And so I went up, we stood in line, there was a couple other people, and then I went up and I said, I'd like to purchase this. And of course the guy looks at me because I'm like 12 or something, and he's like, are you sure? And I turn around to my stepfather and he's just like, yeah, whatever. And then I'm like, uh-huh. And then he's like, okay, and he rings it up and my stepfather pays for it. He's like, there you go. There, it's you can, a little bit of a growing up moment of how to do this yourself. That mom and dad aren't always going to be able to buy stuff put stuff on the fucking counter for you kind of thing. I think I still have that thing around here too somewhere. The fact that they let you buy it at all. Well, it's just the thing is that it's like one of those things where there was no actual it's the same with getting into, I don't know how it is in the UK, but for buying a mature rated video game, as long as there is a parent or guardian who is of age, they will let you buy it. And same for getting into a movie that's rated R or whatever. It's I remember going to see movies that were rated 18 or rated R, and I got in because I was with my parents who were of age, or with my uncle or my aunt. I don't know if that's a thing elsewhere. Stricter here? Straight up turn down those kind of purchases when you were younger? Yeah, but did you have an adult with you? Because would they turn you down even if there was an adult there, actually doing the purchasing technically, or approving of it? Oh, this is a miserable little shit planet. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's definitely not how it would work here. You would, if you... Is this the planet? Is this DLC broken too? Is it this planet? Used to have to send my dad alone to buy games. They wouldn't let me. They just didn't like you. It's an asteroid? Oh. Oh. Alright, no, that's fuel. Shit. God damn it. You made me leave the galactic map, you fucker. I actually just banned that one. Also, because of that now, you have changed colors, Lugor. I'm sorry, I have no control over that. Blame YouTube.
We have located Garneau.
Oh, I completely forgot this part. He was visible for like half a second on my hand. Guess we'll bring Garrison ED, why not? I remember this part. Lugor's Technicolor Dream Chat strikes again. Yeah, it's weird. It's because so the program I'm using to show chat up on screen, I do have it set to pull users' name or users like set colors from Twitch, because Twitch allows you to set a color for your name to appear in chat. And so like Plagueling is showing up in like an orangey red, which is what he is on Twitch as far as is everything I've seen, is his name is always in that sort of red color. But since YouTube doesn't do that and everyone's name is just in like white text on YouTube, it just doesn't show. It just like assigns you a color, and I don't know what causes it to change the color. Like that to me is completely bizarre. I have no idea what does it. I'm gonna pick purple, but I didn't want to copy. It doesn't matter. You can choose whatever. I completely forgot about this part of this DLC. I genuinely thought that it just goes straight to like you go straight to the Leviathan planet.
Small operation. Could be a good place for Leviathan to hide.
Powerful enough to take down a Reaper, but hiding.
I remember this now. You go to this lab, and they're all like they've all been like under the control of the Leviathan, and they've like lost like 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Bryson said they were.
I remembered that, but I didn't remember where it was in this game. You could have convinced me it was an ME2.
Take us in.
It vaguely reminds me of the laboratory in the Arrival DLC, where everyone is actually indoctrinated in evil.
Don't go anywhere, Cortez. We'll grab this guy and be right out. Keep me updated on the Reaper situation.
Yes, Commander.
I'm sorry, I'm...
Scouting party.
And it sounds like they brought some friends.
No, don't bend. I was looking... Does Edie have abs? Look. It's hard to see. Look. Does Edie have abs? Or is that just, like, weird texturing? I'm starting to really get what Joker sees in this. in this robot body. I'm starting to see what he sees in Edie. The only person who likes Arrival. It's okay. We all have weird opinions. Everyone has a weird opinion on something. We tripped wild balls and some weird shit, boss. What time is it? It's fucking what year? What the fuck's a Reaper? They're doing what? Yeah, exactly. It's like the worst thing to come out of like a dream and be like, oh yeah, you've lost like 2 years and or whatever, and like the entire galaxy is being invaded by a genocidal race of robot squids.
Let's get Garneau before the serious troops arrive.
The civilians inside aren't likely to be worried.
You did what to the Krogan? Oh, that was a weird transition.
Welcome to TGS Mineral Works. All guests need to sign in at reception.
They're taking it pretty well, don't you think?
Oh, it's like that fucking movie, I half expect them to like point at Shepard and go, "Argh." It's like They Live.
I'm Commander Shepard of the Alliance. You just had Reaper troops attacking your front door.
Are they still there?
I've taken care of them for now.
I see. That will be all.
That will be. Hello?
Imagine they weren't found until after this. You missed the whole apocalypse.
Yes.
Lucky for them.
TGS Mineral Works. How can we help you? Yes, for the tour.
Thinking Invasion of the
Please
Body
sign in.
Snatchers? Yeah, I am thinking of that. I got that and They Live confused. They're very similar in terms of the alien movies. They're also movies I haven't seen since high school, so I don't really remember them.
Look, we don't have time to waste. I'm looking for a
My high
researcher,
school had a
Dr.
film
Garneau.
club, and by a
They would've
film club,
arrived
it was
within the last
essentially a
couple weeks. If
teacher
he's still
had like
here,
an
I need to
after-school
speak to him.
movie, and he showed us a lot of really good
We
films,
have
and
no
so I watched a
Dr.
lot of
Garneau.
good
Do you
movies in
need
high
to
school,
see a doctor?
and haven't
How
since
about I
then.
just go in and look around?
No. The access elevator is broken. And now
We had one teacher who
we're
was
done.
like a
Step
younger
away,
guy
step
who was like a
away.
bit of a film buff, and so
You
he's
don't
like, "Hey,
belong
I'm
here."
going to show movies after school, and like anyone's welcome to come." And we watched a bunch of films. It was great.
Look around. Carefully.
He was also, in going back to my thing of like how my childhood was a lot of seeing media that I was definitely not was definitely not age appropriate. He would also show us movies that were definitely not age appropriate because they were good movies and or like sort of like pieces of like important cinema. And so like he showed us things like I saw Die Hard the first time at that movie club. It was great. But then he also showed us once. He showed us Pulp Fiction, and he joked with us, kind of like he was joking, but also like serious. He said like, if anyone asks, I showed you the censored version. If anyone asks, you saw the TV edit that was safe. And then my
set the
secondary
drone
school
to repair
was a
the
Catholic
elevator,
school
but
in
we
the
have to stay
80s.
with
Dairy,
it.
we didn't have shit. My school was also a Catholic school. It's a Catholic high school. She does have abs. Look, they're faint, but Edie has abs. That's amazing.
The elevator security log said Garno came through here in the last week. Why are they lying about that?
No idea. Let's hope we don't have to look too far.
Ah, yes, the Rock Lab.
Have you seen Dr. Garneau? I don't have that.
Evolutionary implications of human biotics. Strange thing to be studying.
I forgot that any of the companions had dialogue in this. I thought only Edie talked, but no, Garrus has lines.
Interesting.
This is a restricted security terminal. A level 5 passcode is required for access.
I don't have one.
Access denied.
We could pause the ratings it out. Wow. The 80s were wild. Elusive Man, why did you put abs on the sexy robot, AI robot? Take some mass. I can imagine that. Research purposes, Shepard. You wouldn't understand. Shepard, it's important we defeat the Reapers. I need to put abs on my sexy robot infiltrator.
Turn back. You don't belong here.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
God, this DLC, it's like such a...
I see a trend among the miners. They appear to be doing everything but mining.
I like how, like, very tonally different this DLC is, where it's like, oh, this is weird. There's some weird shit going on. It's interesting because, like, we know the Reapers can do some weird shit to your mind and all that. That's been established for a long time, but so now we're introduced to something where it's like, we know that this isn't the Reapers, so what the fuck is this actually? Oh, I remember this giving me a bit of a skin crawly feeling playing through it the first time.
Bryson, something is very wrong here. Please hurry. Garneau out.
So he's still here. Do we have that passcode hack?
Yeah, we just need to enter it at the security terminal.
TKS Mineral Works has an eye.
Edie is modeled after his ex-girlfriend who got stomped at trains during the first Contact War. Is that like real lore expanded in like some like extra media stuff, or did you just make that up? Because that could be both. Or I would believe either one, that you just made that up or that's actually real lore.
Access denied.
That is a real comic book lore? Wow.
Punch in Garneau's terminal hack and see what it gets us.
I don't trust anyone who makes like a simulacrum of a dead person they used to love.
Ship dropped him off a week ago.
It appears he had full access at one point before going into hiding.
I think of what's his fucking face from Bloodborne, who made the plain doll after Maria.
Unknown male was involved in an altercation in the mines.
That is a common trope.
Heading to the mines.
Now that I think about it, that's like a real common trope of someone like remaking their like loved one in some way.
The mineral lab, a low security, all access area. The med bay is restricted to authorized
Doing it through like technology or magic or some shit.
I have the file number.
Let's go get Garneau.
All this like deep lore that nobody knows because who the fuck read any of the multimedia stuff for this game? I'm not shitting on the multimedia stuff. I know some of it can be really good. You know, I have engaged with some multimedia, like other stuff for certain video game series. I remember reading a couple of the Halo books back in the day, and they were all right. But it's just one of those things where it's like, when it comes slamming back into the main game, you're like, wait, who the fuck is these people? What is going on? Who is Kai Ling?
Is that Garneau?
If it is, we came a long way for nothing.
If you are looking for Garneau, you have found him.
So I was at the Lou cussing about
I
sex
am
about being a
Dr.
dead ex. Is
Garneau.
that true? Yeah, according
Commander
Lugor has
Shepard
filled
of
us
the
in that
Alliance.
apparently Edie's body
all right?
is designed by
Yes.
is designed in the
Only
likeness
I'm trapped
of
in here.
the ex-girlfriend of someone.
Whatever's going on here, I need you to focus.
Of course, Commander.
I need you to tell me everything you found on the Leviathan. Bryson seemed to think it killed a Reaper.
It's a myth. A dead end.
But what about the artifact you mentioned in your message?
I did? No.
Yes, Doctor, you did. But now we've got Reaper forces attacking, so I need to break you out. We'll grab the artifact and go.
Reapers. The darkness must not be breached.
The darkness?
Why do you pursue me?
Doctor?
Leave the artifact. You will not take what is mine.
I don't believe we are speaking to Garneau.
Thanks, Edie.
You.
Did it take all of your
You killed
AI
the Reaper.
power to
I
deduce
need your
that?
help.
You bring only death.
Someone has cut the power. There he goes.
Leave this place.
Wait! We need to get to that artifact before he does.
He said it was in the mines.
Oh, these cutscenes are, or these loading screens are real awkward.
Garneau's
but
notes gave us a nav point for the artifact.
Map shows a service store at the next tram station.
Looks like we're not the only ones headed that way.
there's some dude named. Oh, these ladders are so busted for some reason. Don't worry, it will fix itself in a second. There we go. I don't know anything about this crazy lore. Oh, that was weird.
There he goes.
Oh, so hello, Reapers.
Heads up! Enemies on the upper balcony!
Watch our flank!
I will say this DLC has done pacing better than some of the other ones. Or I'm thinking of Mass Effect 2 DLCs. Like there was that whole moment in the labs where there was no combat, no action, just fucking creepy ass atmosphere, and it was great. I want more of that. That was fucking so good. Otherwise, yeah, Mass Effect lore is weird. Remember they stumbled across some Reaper shit and Saren's brother was like the Turian general who investigated and was bodied by Jack. Which is why Saren hates humans, I think. I don't know. I'm of the opinion that when it comes to stuff like this, the games are like law. And the games are gospel. The games are fucking biblical in terms of like, they were made by God himself. And then everything else is like even like official comics and shit is like one step away from being fan fiction. Oh my fucking lord. Excuse me? Hello, War Crimes novel, you mandatory piece of shit. What? You're telling me you wouldn't somehow intuit what was going on in World of Warcraft after, like, you somehow time travel or whatever the fuck? And Garrosh is free? I should have saved that Black Star for this. Would have if I knew this was gonna happen. If I was gonna fight fucking 5 of these guys, or 4 or whatever. Ow. Get up and over. Come on, Shepard. Is there another one laying around? Of course not. Too long didn't read Saren. Is Jack racism sport Harper's fault, and Tim has been low-key indoctrinated for like 50 years in game and is canonically like 70 in this or shit. Well, that makes sense. Like, I guess people would be living longer in this universe. I've always disliked that the elusive man has been abbreviated as Tim. Because it just sounds so silly. I know it makes sense, but it's just silly.
Okay, let's find that artifact.
Isn't that like a Monty Python? Am I thinking of Holy Grail? You may call, or some call me Tim, right? Is that the thing I'm thinking of? Yeah, okay. It's funny, I watched that movie like 3 weeks ago, but it was like 1 in the morning, and I was so tired, so it might as well have been a fever dream. It was like recommended to me on like Amazon Prime Video, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have this in the background while I'm doing like other things. And it was, and so I'm like, oh, right, fucking, haha, funny. Those were also movies that I saw at my school film club back in the day. Holy Grail and Life of Brian.
Unfortunately, the drone is damaged and is on reserve power.
I think Life of Brian is fucking hysterical. From what I remember. I will say, like, Life of Brian actually feels like a movie with it's comedic or it's farcical, but it's like a movie, and like things are like kind of progress towards an ending. Where I feel like Holy Grail is just like a bunch of like random skits that they stapled together until the movie kind of just ends, and then the movie's just like, yeah, it's over. That's it.
Got it. Shepard, we still need to escort that drone.
You need to be closer to the drone.
Oh my god, yeah, I could get closer to the drone if I wasn't being fucking bombarded.
We should hurry.
On it.
I used to call the Queen Harry because HR, Her Royal Highness.
I hear you. I'm on it.
I gotta sneeze. Life of Brian was the first one they was supposed to be a proper movie. Yeah, it feels a lot more like together. Like Monty Python is funny as shit, but it's just like it feels like 36 comedy skits just stapled together, and then the movie ends.
Let's head back. Yours should be online.
Oops, wrong one. Ugh, God, I hate that noise they make. Good sound. They really went hard on making all of the Reapers sound just absolutely awful, like in a good way. They all just sound like things I don't want to be near.
The darkness can't.
That artifact, it's...
Like in Bryson's office.
Move! I got a shot.
No!
Garneau!
Now, you can tell from his last name that he was Garneau. I'm going to assume he was French-Canadian. And you would have think that he set up a bomb there. But no, French-Canadians sometimes just do that. Quebecers just sometimes explode.
Shepard, over here.
What have you got?
That was not Garneau. This is. It appears he's been dead for a while.
So Leviathan can have Bryson killed, can take over this colony, and he can use them as puppets. Huh. Anything else useful?
One with the chicken just pops out alongside.
And a personal log with 8 missed calls from a Dr. Anne Bryson.
Anne Bryson.
I think John Cleese did say something that Holy Grail was just a flying circus spread out over an hour or so.
What are you doing here?
I'm Commander Shepard. You all right?
I think so. I feel strange, but all right.
What's been going on here?
You tell me anything about what happened to you?
Not really.
This DLC uses the left-hand side options on the wheel more than anything else in the entire game.
Feeling cold and dark.
If dark was a feeling, that's exactly what I felt.
That artifact, do you know where it came from?
Came out of the mine. Right. Head office was supposed to send someone. That's about all I can...
Cortez, what's your situation? Can you bring the shuttle?
Affirmative. Strangest thing. A couple of minutes ago, the Reaper forces broke off and left.
Reaper. What's a Reaper?
Oh, no.
What year do you think this is?
2176.
2176 was 10 years ago.
Oh my god.
What? Let's arrange for these people to be evacuated into temporary quarantine.
If these people have been out of
Did nobody check on this place for 10 years?
Shock.
Did they never order a pizza? Or need repairs or spare parts? Did nobody who put the money into this ever go, maybe we should check up on that whole space mining facility we have set up?
Is a Reaper?
If it's a Reaper, we need to know its motivations. How long has it been out here, and more importantly, why? Edie, did we get anything from Garneau's notes?
Yes. They suggest that Garneau created a way to block the artifact's mind-affecting
I don't even know.
The
I'm glad no one else has those face textures because they're
when
awful.
I head back to Bryson's office, I want you there.
They should be less of those face textures.
I want to know just what the hell these artifacts really are and what they can do.
Whatever they are.
Edie's robot skin face looks more human than fucking whatever the fuck what's his face was.
Middle of the Citadel.
I forgot how long this DLC was. I thought this was one of those DLCs that lasts like 30 minutes. I thought we were gonna be done by. If I'm brutally honest, I thought we were gonna be finished. I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna keep going, but like, I didn't fucking. I forgot. I have completely forgotten everything about this DLC, other than the apartment and then the final area, because that's very memorable. Hey, where are we going? Citadel. Okay. Like, I remember doing the little scavenger hunt on the Citadel, and then I remember the very end on the water planet, because that did a good job of sticking around in my mind. And all of the rest of this might have been a different game, and if you asked me. I could have poke the head, right? Poke the head, right? Will poke the head. You could have convinced me that this was a Mass Effect 2 DLC, that operation we just did. You could have convinced me that you could have easily convinced me that was part of Arrival. I mean, there was a blockhouse at RAF Hereford that didn't get checked for like 30 years because it got left off a checklist once and nobody added it back on. Had old RAF uniforms in it. That's funny. It's like that one. It's like those old those Japanese soldiers who just were so out in the middle of nowhere that they never heard that the war ended. I guess if it could happen on a single planet, it's conceivable it could happen in an entire galaxy.
We need to shield the artifact. Am I dead yet?
Oh my god, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Am I dead yet? I keep hitting the wrong button.
I should be able to
I accidentally went. I was trying to turn the game up and I went in. I went one button over to my sound effects and then I hit it again and then I just kept hitting the JonTron "Am I Dead Yet" sound effect.
Perhaps the amount of time spent using the artifact is key. After a certain duration, it affords Leviathan an impressive mind control capability.
If the Reapers are worried about it, then Leviathan has
I'm
my
so
attention.
sorry.
I could use that kind of edge.
Nevertheless,
I wasn't looking at my stream deck.
it's likely that Leviathan compelled Bryson's assistant to murder him.
Point taken. Just shows we don't know what we're dealing with.
Despite the risk, this artifact remains our only link to finding Leviathan. Perhaps we could find more information about it here in the lab.
Agreed. Bryson's team might have turned up something we missed. I'll look around.
Okay. Data file.
They were testing the artifact for energy emissions.
And found nothing. Still, I recommend leaving it shielded.
Anything interesting about the artifact's structure?
The artifact would have to be giving, I don't know, something.
Beyond that, nothing of relevance.
Right? I don't know. It's not just magic, is it? Well, let's not think about that.
Edie, what project was Garneau working on when he found the artifact?
Basilisk.
Got anything on Basilisk?
Several ships, a mythical creature, and a rare mid-tier enemy type in the Galaxy of Fantasy video game. It possesses a gaze attack capable of triggering synced animation kills.
I'm so sorry.
Player forums describe it as overpowered.
I meant the project, Edie.
Oh. Then, no.
There's got to be something here on this
Edie
artifact.
Is Edie okay?
What about the server?
Did we give the AI like some sort of autism?
Before killing Bryson.
Where she just like she's gotten like less useful and more sort of scatterbrained.
A message from Dr. Bryson's daughter, Anne. According to my records, she worked with her father.
I guess being a completely weird form of thinking, and like, I don't know, like a completely logical form of thought. Maybe they are just kind of like all like they are the super autists.
But I can't get through. We've got Reaper scouts coming in toward the main site. I'm heading to the secondary base to grab what research I can.
Anne Bryson was attempting to contact Garneau on the asteroid.
Anne Bryson looks like she was permanently stung by a bee.
About the artifact.
She's the only one who does. Wherever she is, we have to find her.
She sounded concerned for her safety. If Reaper forces are closing on her position,
then we find her first.
She said she was in the Pylos Nebula, working for Project Scarab. That cluster contains several systems. I'll call up the nebula on the galaxy map. We may also search the lab for clues to narrow down her location.
Yay, more scavenger hunt. I like scavenger. Where's...
the Reapers. Let's hope we find Anne before they do.
More clues, clues, clues? Do I smell clues?
Any correlation between Project Scarab and these unexplained creature sightings?
Not beyond Leviathan itself.
Anne Bryson flew out on a ship called the Icarus. Can you track its movements?
No. The Reapers have disrupted civilian comm buoys. But we might learn more.
Edie's adorable. She's learning from people of the kind of nerds who join the Space Navy to fuck with computers all day. Turbo nerds doing turbo nerd shit. I almost read that as people who join the Navy to fuck computers all day.
There are specifications for several ships here.
Which ship am I looking for again?
The Icarus.
The Icarus. Here we go.
The ship has enhanced electrostatic discharge cells. They facilitate long-range FTL travel.
So they jumped to the Pylos Nebula by mass relay, then flew to another system.
Yes. Otherwise, they would have chartered a less expensive ship.
Okay, we can rule out the relay system.
I like Edie's like glowy Geordie LaForge visor.
Does anything in Anne Bryson's work history suggest where she might be?
Nothing relevant. The locker is secure. We must locate an access card to open it.
Access card for the requisitions locker?
Yes. According to records.
Let's see what Anne Bryson requisitioned for Project Scarab. Wind protection gear. Didn't need an environmental suit.
Based on what Anne Bryson did or did not requisition, the dig site was arid but habitable.
Get me a filter for systems with compatible planets.
I think that's it. So I'm gonna, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream, I don't know if this is the best time to think about it. I thought that was a dude stuffed in the locker. What was I gonna say?
Based on the search data,
so I remember how I mentioned I was going to do a,
based on the data, only one
a video.
Viable possibility.
Good.
If your laptop looked like Edie, could you look me in the eye and say it wouldn't? No, I've been gawking at her tits in every cutscene. If I had like an eye tracker app right now, you would see that I've been looking at her tits in every cutscene. I mentioned how last stream I was going to do a video about Ride to Hell Retribution. Since it's been like about 2 days, like a day and a half, I've had a lot of time to think about that, and then I realized that would be a total waste of time, and I'm not going to do it. I'm just like, I don't want to put energy into something that I don't actually care that much about. I'm just happy that I've played that game from start to finish. That was enough. It's something it's just I don't care. I thought long and hard about it, where it's like, I've thought several times over the last year and a half, there have been several times for several different for several different games where I thought I want to do a structured, like, scripted video about them. And I have decided that I didn't care enough about it to, like, I always asked myself, okay, before you start thinking about making a video, do you care enough about this game that you're not going to just lose interest? You know, your heart's not really in it, you know? And I said, you're right. I really don't care enough, or I really don't know if I have enough to say about it. And these were games that I thought and cared about more, 1,000 times more than Ride to Hell Retribution. And so there was no way I was going to be like, I'm going to put all this time into this game that I really don't care about. You know, it's easy to be like, it's easy to come up with the idea and be impulsive about like, oh, I'm going to make this fucking thing and it's going to be great and it's going to be funny and I'm going to do a whole, and like it expanded in scope because I started off thinking, oh, I'm going to do just like a compilation video. And then it eventually became, I'm going to do a review on it. And then I'm like, no, why? And then I thought about it. I'm like, why would, no? Because even, especially considering that, like, I would probably have to play that game again on my own time to get footage, to get, like, clips that were cleaner and stuff like that. And I'm like, fuck that. It's a fucking shit game, no. We're the only people who have thought, get them close to it. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's the same thing. The audience isn't hidden, it's just not there. Yeah. There would be, like, no one, like, the juice, as one of my favorite expressions, the juice would not be worth the squeeze. It would just not be worth the effort you put in, what you get out of it. Is that a common expression? Because I use that expression all the time, and even like my mom is like, I've never heard that before. Where did you find that phrase? I'm like, Mom, that phrase is like ancient. That phrase is like 100 years old. Never heard that before, quite like it. I love that expression. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's very understandable. You know? You get it. It's very visual. What other appearances? Okay. Okay, we're gonna look at Edie's. Okay, this is default Edie. They get bigger. They get bigger. They so get bigger. Default suited Edie. It makes her tits bigger. Oh boy, I gotta get the upgrades for this boy. For this. Does this gun still sound as bad as it did in Mass Effect 2? Please say yes. Please say yes. Gotta use that on it. I want to have my 200 recharge speed still, so. I approve of the poopage suit.
So we got reports of an attack on an excavation site.
Yes, an attack means we're on the right trail. And since Bryson's daughter is our only lead, our objective is clear. Cortez?
Nothing so far, Commander. If she's down there, she hasn't responded to our hails.
It's new to me, but sort of not worth the effort of wiping your
signals, though. Give me a minute.
That's a very
additional complications.
A very vivid
Agreed.
one.
Take us in closer.
I don't know. It's like, I've used that one all the time. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, and so many people, like in my personal life, like friends and family, have literally told me, it's like, I have never heard that before. They'd be like, what?
Commander, on the landing
and I'm like,
platform.
I didn't make this up or anything. Like, this is a new.
That's her.
This is old. What are you talking about?
Okay, let's get...
Damn! Tracking multiple bogies.
Get us over there.
Negative, it's too hot. Heading to lower platform. Hang on. There, go.
Jump!
Sorry, now I'm looking up the very important origin. It's old. It's like mid 20th century, so it could be upwards of. I don't know. I always liked it. Okay, here we go. Does the locust sound as bad in this game as it did in 2?
Move. She's somewhere above us.
Ooh, it does. Oh, it's awful. I love it.
No, stay where you are. This is Commander Shepard of the Alliance Navy.
God, this level is like a complete whiplash in terms of like. Oh my God, last one was like a slow burn, and now this one's just like fucking. The base is exploding and everything's falling apart. This is what we call an action movie set piece, as was the style at the time. There were entire games that were just this back in like the 2010s. Ever point out that Cortez's shuttle is like a TARDIS? Yeah, it is. It really is like bigger on the inside sort of thing. It's as big as they need it to be. Favorite nails on a chalkboard gun. I will say the sound is not as annoying. It's not as nail gunny. It's not as high pitched as it was in the Mass Effect 2. It had a very very ear piercing quality in 2. Suddenly we're playing Uncharted. I was literally thinking of Uncharted. Uncharted was a series I never really played much of because I didn't really have PlayStations for a long. I didn't have a PlayStation 3. I barely bought anything on my PlayStation. I bought my PlayStation 4 back in the day to play Bloodborne, and anything else was like just extra.
Shouldn't take much to fix it. Give me a second.
I played Bloodborne. It came with The Last of Us, which I actually didn't really care for. And then I also played a couple other games on the PlayStation, although the only one I can remember is Persona 5, which I quite liked. But like, oh no, I did play an Uncharted. I played a single Uncharted game. I played Uncharted 4, and I didn't like it at all. Thank you for hanging around, Lugor. Appreciate it. Enjoy your sleeps. Behold our shiny key jangling corridor that if you stray from the design path, you die immediately. Yeah. I remember I played Uncharted 4, and then after playing that, I understood what people meant when they said a Sony movie game. I'm like, this game was like set piece after set piece after set piece, and just cutscenes of people talking to each other, followed by another set piece, and I didn't give a shit for any of it.
Elevator spotted, Shepard. Got it.
Also, it made me realize why I also didn't like The Last of Us. I didn't get The Last of Us. Like, I genuinely, like, so many people said that The Last of Us was like the fucking best video game ever made, and then I played it, and I'm like, where's the best video game ever made? Because it's definitely not here. I was like, are you people that impressed by like such a basic story told okay that you're gonna be willing to like say that this is the best game ever made, or like one of? You know, and you know what? You know how I know? If you start telling me that a game is the best game ever made, or like is amazing, and the first thing you start talking about is the story and the characters, I'm like, okay, wait. That's not the important part. The important part is the gameplay. In my opinion, if a game I will play a game with amazing gameplay and a terrible story 1,000 times over a game with a great story and terrible gameplay. You just became my favorite content creator. Yeah, I didn't care for The Last of Us. Did I think it was atrocious? No. But like I kind of just couldn't give myself to I couldn't get myself to care. I'm being put through all these these cutscenes of these characters that I kind of don't care too much about, because what's going on between them, like cutscenes of them talking, is very, very boring gameplay that I can barely give a shit to keep moving through. You know? I also think that game was like the most cheap and manipulative with its opening. Like the opening of The Last of Us has like a child dying. And I'm like, this is such blatant and like this is the equivalent of like shooting a dog in a movie to get like your audience to cry. And it's like, why would I like, this is like, I don't care. Like you killed a child, like, so what? Like, am I supposed to be like, oh my god? You know. Listen, I played Fallout. I played the original 2 Fallouts where you could just minigun children down. Now it's funny because it's like, you know, talking about the PlayStation 4 and those movie games. It's like people telling me to play Last of Us or like saying that The Last of Us is so good. And I'm like, I don't really care for this. You know what I thought was like actually one of the best games of all time that was on the PlayStation floor? The PlayStation floor? Was Bloodborne. Now that's a fucking video game.
We're moving as fast as we can. Hang in there.
Oh, I'm stuck in a wall. I also, I'll say, you know what was a better example of like a Sony movie game? Was the God of War game. I will say I never played any of the old God of Wars because again, I never really, just one of those series I never got into. I never completed it, but I did love it. Yes, I will say that Bloodborne was significantly hampered by the fact that it was like barely 30 frames a second and the load times were atrocious. They did update the game eventually and made it a little better, but it was still rough. God of War. So I never played any of them except the one from like 2000 whatever. And although that game also suffers from a lot of the Sony movie game issues of just like, it's cinematic with cutscenes of characters talking. At the very least, the gameplay was more interesting than The Last of Us. I actually found the gameplay to be somewhat fun. I think it was a bit repetitive, but like there was like a nugget of fun there in the base gameplay. Never bothered to play the sequel though, because just didn't really care enough. Now Sony, if you made a Bloodborne 2, heck, if you even made a PlayStation, a PC release of Bloodborne, I would pay for that. I never liked it because I grew up with the originals. It's funny how I've seen both of those. I've seen like all sorts of like, I've seen people who like, I played the originals and so I didn't like the new ones, and then I played the originals and I didn't, and that's why I liked the new ones, and then I've seen people who are like, I've played the originals after I played the new ones and I like both, or or I don't like the new ones as much, you know, stuff like that. Like I've seen every single opinion on that one. I don't really have a horse in that race. I thought I played the first one. I thought it was fine. Would I ever play it again? No, probably not. Would I ever want to play the sequel? No, I'm good. I'm trying to think if there is a series.
Get to it.
If there is a series that is like that for me, where I liked the originals, but like the newer iteration, I didn't like at all. I'm trying to think. Halo, maybe? Halo, I think would be a close one. Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach are all in their own rights amazing games with a lot of good, even the weaker ones. And then Halo 4 is a big pile of shit, and it just keeps getting worse from there.
Please hurry. I think Hawkins is dead.
The best one would be Zelda. Did not like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, but love the originals.
Where did everyone go? They're not coming.
It's weird because I've played a fair bit of...
Of course.
It's weird. I played a fair bit of the Zelda games. I mean, like, probably more so than, like, the average person who isn't, like, a fan. And I wouldn't call myself a fan of the series because although I have played a lot of the games, I've not been, like... they're just games I played, you know? And some of them I liked and some of them I didn't.
I was at another dig site when they attacked. I got back as quick as I could.
I liked...
What's happening?
It's weird because, like, my choice of, like, ones that I like a lot of the older Zeldas. I like,
I'm not sure, but it might have
I like
something
the
to do with these
original on the
paintings.
NES,
Is
even
that
though it does make
Leviathan?
me want to die sometimes. I like
Yes.
Link to the
Yes, I
Past a
think so.
lot.
It's old,
I
much
like
older than my father
Wind
thought.
Waker, a more
And there,
relatively
see the
newer
natives were under
one.
its power. Clearly,
I really didn't like Ocarina of Time. I really didn't like
Doctor, I
Ocarina of
understand you
Time.
found something recently.
The artifact. Yes, of course. Incredible. It's just ahead.
I didn't
May
mind
sound
Tears of the
strange, but I'm
Kingdom.
certain it
I
affects
liked it much better. If I had to compare Tears of the
only had a
Kingdom
short
and
time to
Breath of the
study.
Wild, I would
strange at
say
all.
that
Did you
Tears
find
of the
anything?
Kingdom is much
Not
better.
much,
It
but
feels
I did
like
learn something
Breath of
from
the
the
Wild
energy
2.0.
generators.
If I could go back in time, I would tell Nintendo to just make Tears of the Kingdom, make it better because it's a good game. It's a much better game than Breath of the Wild in my opinion. Heathen. Yeah, I couldn't jive with Ocarina of Time. It's the thing that a lot of those old ones, even the ones I like Wind Waker, I think I suffer that makes me
The darkness must not be breached.
that makes me
Shepard, take it out.
Got it.
so I'm just distracted by all this shit happening. I
okay?
don't like the
Cortez,
I don't like
you
how
have Ann Bryson.
how
Need to pick up.
handholdy the older Zeldas are. I feel like I have to like it feels like the game is for like a good chunk of it is so on rails
Yes.
that I want to die. It's like I just want to yell at the game and say, "Let me play the fucking game."
We'll bring it down.
Like I compare it to like the Mario games, where a lot of the Mario games, like even going as far back as 64, it's like you turn on the game, and then you're bing bing wahoo when you jump into the castle and you're doing Mario shit. You know what I mean? Like there's not anything really like stopping you. Like, even in a game that I liked, like Wind Waker, like, how many hours does it take to get to the point where you're actually, like, allowed to kind of just sail around the ocean? Holy shit!
Okay, Cortez, get in here.
I think you mentioned it earlier, Plagueling, that, yeah, you combine the singularity with that. Holy crap.
Copy that. Everybody, let's go.
That was a singularity that I just hit flare with. Or hit with a flare. Like 2 to 3 depending. Yeah, man, I just can't. Oh! There was probably explosive barrels there then, too, that blew up. Flare is great. This ability is awesome. I think it's a big thing that biotic detonations for Flare hit twice. I wonder if that's like a thing. I don't know, maybe it's just like that was just like a lightning strike kind of thing. I gotta remember to use Flare. It's just that I've been playing this game for so long already that I'm stuck with using throw and warp, and that I gotta remember that I have Flare and use it in my repertoire. It is just like a big nuke. It's like the most simple of like ultimates. It's just like big bomb. Would it have killed BioWare to make it so that, like, there were animations for the cutscenes for other types of weapons other than an AR?
You okay?
Yeah, Commander. I think so. I blacked out.
Leviathan took control of you. We cut the connection before you got hurt.
Leviathan itself?
What are with the faces in this DLC, though? What is wrong with her and her father?
Interested in it as we are.
Yeah, it certainly seems that
They
way.
don't look like they belong in this game.
We were hoping you could help us figure out why.
They look more alien than fucking
But
Garrus there.
First, Doctor, I have some bad news.
Anne, please. Suppose Leviathan's broken away from the other Reapers. Never went back to dark space. Like a rogue, or even a defector. I have to call my father. He'll want to know.
Anne.
Dad, your father died.
You need to listen to me, okay? Your father is dead. Sorry.
He
so does weird things to people.
He can't be dead.
He found something that wanted to stay hidden.
Found something?
You're not the first to lose control. Your father's assistant. One minute he was fine. The next, he drew a gun on your father. I couldn't stop him.
I can't believe this.
We have to find out what's behind it all. You're the only one who can help us. Anne?
I want to see his office.
We'll arrange for transportation and meet you there.
Citadel again? I genuinely forgot. Okay, we gotta go back to this. I completely forgot that. Ooh. Checking save data. There are so many saves now that the game is like, wait, give me a sec. I gotta check all the saves. Yeah, games don't like me. I save too much. Do you have to make nearly 300 saves? Yes, I do. I do like how the galactic map just starts, like, filling up with fucking Reapers. I think everyone in the galaxy right now is rightfully sweating a little bit. I know I mentioned it before, but, like, surely you could, like, get, like, a bunch of resources to make, like, a little self-sufficient, like, hidey hole somewhere in the galaxy and kind of just ride this out, right? Like, you go to, like, an uncharted planet that isn't complete shit. You build your, like, survivalist prepper bunker, and you hide there. Edie, you're not in your
Hello?
mandated sexy suit.
Anne? You here?
Company mandated sexy catsuit.
Anne?
Oh, Commander. Yes, I'm sorry. Just... This is hard.
Oh, it's the Overlord theme? Huh.
I understand. But we really need your help.
I know. I'm just, a little lost. Seeing all this again. He was so obsessed. Crazy sometimes.
I didn't get a chance to know him.
Oh, sometimes I felt the
I understand
same
that,
way.
like, it's supposed to be that she's kind of
was a
got, like,
great
chubby
man.
cheeks, but it kind of looks
A
like she had
pioneer.
some bad Botox injections.
But he could be distant. I felt like an inconvenience.
Her
Chloe.
face is too stiff.
You sound angry.
I was angry. Still am, I guess. But sometimes he was so full of stories.
Like, her cheeks aren't
He nearly
moving
burst.
enough when she talks. It only looks like her jaw
I
is
love
really
that about
moving.
him. It's why I signed up for this work. I can't believe he's gone.
We'll figure this out.
We have to.
She never
I need to
recovered
know
from a
what's on
tragic
the
case
other
of
end that
mumps.
artifact. What he died for.
Then help us hunt down whatever's responsible. You're our last chance.
Okay. If anyone can sort through this mess, it's me.
Anne, you sure you're up for this?
Yes. When Leviathan took control of me, I remember being somewhere cold and dark. But my father taught me to never be afraid of the dark.
I'm still amazed your father got his hands on a piece of a Reaper.
He was so excited. Your claims validated years of work.
Did you take appropriate steps
I like
to
how,
prevent
though,
indoctrination?
that this, like, DLC establishes that there were people doing, like, all this research and we
all
never
had
heard of
regular
them until now.
But now, thanks to the artifact, I'm indoctrinated anyway, aren't I? Might as well be a Arachnite drone waiting for orders from the Queen.
That's a healthy way to look at it. Weirdo.
You studied the Rachni?
I wrote my dissertation on them. My father thought it was a waste of time, but now...
Hey,
might actually help us
I know
understand
Rachni.
Leviathan.
I saved her twice.
In what way?
We think of the Rachni as telepathic, but there's really no such thing. At short range, the Queen uses pheromones to give orders. At long range, she uses an organic kind of quantum entanglement communicator. Whatever Leviathan does must be similar. Entangling
I just thought of, like, a
particles
weird
stimulate
question.
neural
How does the
activity.
Rachni Queen
Uses the
travel
artifact to establish
through
a
space?
connection, and then it controls the mind of anyone near it.
Does anyone remember that? Or know that? Like, because they were on Novaria, and then they were on the other planet.
Commander.
Also, hi, James.
Need a hand?
What brings you down here, James?
Heard you're closing in on the Reaper killer. Anything that can scare those bastards has to be worth a look.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, and now I'm on the other side.
Commander, you see this thing? This is great!
That used to be a human, James.
Hey, Edie, husk bites, they don't turn you into a husk or anything, right?
I recommend you apply Metagel.
I do like how Metagel in Mass Effect 1 was, like, explained as, like, some really advanced sort of almost or a genetic engineered thing that, like, clamps onto a wound to stop bleeding and, like, apply antibiotics and anesthetics and stuff like that. And then you have to get it off by exposing it to ultrasound to, like, unclamp from a wound, where now it's just like magic heal
Hey, if nobody
juice.
claims this thing, we could take it with us. You know, for research or I don't know, whatever.
Now it's just like a magic potion from a fantasy game. Yes.
All right. Just don't tell anybody.
Nice. You think Esteban will let me set up bowling pins in the cargo bay?
We didn't detect any energy emissions from the artifact.
But the
It's
Reapers were
mine
able
now.
to use the artifact to trace Leviathan somehow.
My theory is that most of the time, the artifact simply acts as a receiver. We'll only be able to trace Leviathan through it when it actively takes control of someone.
As it did on the asteroid.
Right. Unless it needs something.
I have no idea why it exploded until he lost. Maybe if you say no, it just blows up.
Something in common.
Eh.
You said
Weird
Leviathan's
legacy or
control was similar to a
weird
quantum
legendary
entanglement
edition change.
communicator,
Who
which
knows?
is untraceable.
Yes. But this isn't a natural QEC. Leviathan has to send a pulse through the artifact to alter your mind and create the quasi-QEC effect.
And that can be traced.
Right. Just like at the dig site.
Okay, I get it. You have to expose yourself to the Leviathan so that we can make a link to then trace it.
I don't think there's anything
You have to
more I
keep
can tell.
you have to
But
keep
maybe
Leviathan on
I
the
can
phone
show
for
you.
30 seconds so
What
we
are
can
you
trace
saying?
his location.
The artifact only sends out a signal when Leviathan's controlling someone. So let it control me. You could trace the signal.
I don't like it. But we're out of options.
You know better than
Okay,
I
okay,
do
okay.
Leviathan's capable
It's
of
like
when
that scene in like every movie with
I
the
know it's a long
police
shot,
where
but
they
I
like
have
they
to
pick
do
up the
this.
phone and it's the murderer.
You're looking for
and
something
they
to
and they
fight the
quietly
Reapers,
like
Commander.
signal to their guys like
I'm
over there
looking for the
going like
monster that murdered my
and they
father.
turn on the recorders
still
and they
don't
hit
know
the, they
what
start doing the tracing and they're like
Then let's
gotta
find
keep him
out.
on the phone for 30 seconds.
Commander, this thing we're doing with Anne sounds dangerous as hell.
Noted. Edie?
Energy signature locked in, waiting for activation.
This is pretty gutsy.
I don't know about guts. Crazy, maybe.
I'm gonna be right here.
Okay. I'm ready.
James, drop the containment shield.
Shield is dropped.
Yeah, we didn't get a complete
Artifact
connection. We've
online.
limited it down to a 5-mile
Anything?
radius.
Nothing yet.
It's like, where in this 5-mile radius? He used to work at the candy factory, so the gold candy factory is in this. He's there. Go, go, go! And they all rush to their cars.
I feel a chill.
Edie?
No trace yet.
Holy hell!
Signal is tracking. Maintain connection.
Turn back. The darkness can't be breached.
Yo!
Maintain connection.
Listen to me. I found you, and the Reapers are right behind me.
You have brought them.
You are a threat.
So are you. I've seen what you can do. The war needs you.
There is no war. There is only the harvest.
Edie, do we have enough?
Partial lock. Maintain connection to narrow the search.
You heard her. We got enough. I'm hitting the shield.
Belay that, Lieutenant.
Signal
That was
is
a-
fading. Maintain connection.
We can fight them. We can win this.
The cycle cannot be broken.
You're wrong.
Focusing the point of origin. Maintain connection to
It
narrow the
literally
search.
is that scene of like, keep him on the phone.
I'm stopping this!
Back off! Where are you? Where are you?
Beyond reach.
Trace complete.
James!
Got it! Okay. Yeah, we're good. Shit.
Edie, update.
You want to sit rep? Are you kidding me? Look at her.
I got it, Lieutenant. Edie?
We have a location.
Hang in there.
Leviathan coordinates sent to the Normandy, Shepard.
I hope it was worth it.
She'll
It
be.
will
She's
be.
only got a little
I'm
bit
taking her
of
to
like
my lab.
microwave brain. She'll
See
be
you back in the
fine.
Normandy.
Only a minor case of serious brain damage. All right. I think this is it now. Now we go again. I forgot this was as involved as it was. I thought it was like a little field trip to the Citadel and off to go see the giant space space squid. Boom 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 boom. All right, you piece of shit. 2182 Dysphonia. Only recently spotted, no records indicate explored. Covered in an ocean of liquid water and has a nitrogen oxide atmosphere. Likes to have at least some photosynthetic life. Of course, nobody has found this planet. They just like kind of scanned it and went, it's a planet.
These coordinates match our trace of Leviathan.
This is it, Luigi. Oh, right, it's filled with like a bunch of crashed ships. It's like a graveyard planet. I remember now. You saying that made me remember, right? It's filled with like a bunch of ships. It's like a Bermuda Triangle kind of like thing where like the ships get like dragged in, right? Or something? I don't know. Maybe now I'm just making stuff up. Kind of, you're on the right track? Okay.
Cortez, what's the status on the probe we launched?
Tracking it now, Commander. I've confirmed that Leviathan's signal originates from this planet. Heard how, Anne helped us locate it. It's pretty spooky stuff.
Makes you wonder what we're going to find down there.
Dr. Bryson classified Leviathan as a Reaper killer. It appears it doesn't wish to be found.
It doesn't have a choice. We're here.
Right. But then what? It plays pretty rough, and if it is a Reaper, I don't know that's the kind of help we want.
We're not gonna win this war by turning away help, even if it does have blood on its hands.
Commander, new readings from the probe. It's narrowed down Leviathan's location. You're not gonna like it.
Let's hear it.
There's nothing but ocean. I show a concentration of structures floating on the surface, but the probe's giving us a signal below that. Way below.
Underwater?
Looks that way. The shuttle should still be able to reach it.
That's possible?
The Kodiak is spec'd to nearly 1,000 atmospheres, though I've never actually tested that.
Guess we're gonna find out.
Status! Some kind of pulse hit us! Systems are shutting down! Brace for impact!
I don't remember that line where it's like, oh yeah, this shuttle can go like under 1,000 atmospheres of pressure, really? It makes me think of that old line. There's a line from one of the episodes of Futurama where like the ship gets like the ship gets dragged underwater, like under the ocean by like a sea monster or something. And like they're reading out like it's like 1,000 feet beneath the ocean or some shit, and they go, it's like, and the professor goes like, oh, that's nearly 1,000 pounds of pressure or something, or atmospheres of pressure. And Fry asks, it's like, how many atmospheres of pressure can the ship take? And he goes, oh, well, it is a spaceship, so anywhere between 0 and 1.
Any idea how old these are?
The bones are untouched by scavengers. If they rotted clean from humidity and exposure, it might take more than a year.
Trying to get airborne. Okay, so yeah, they get like Bermuda. They do get Bermuda Triangle. Like the technology fails and they crash to the ground. Oh, ocean.
Shepard, we got one of those artifacts.
Explains why no one gets out of here.
What does shooting the artifacts do? was fun.
Can't say I recognize any of those ships. Just how long have they been here?
God, this is cool. I will say I love the environment of this planet. Oh, well, I love the big stormy sea and all the like ruined like technology, and you're on the back of like a ship. So cool. There was a planet in Destiny 2 that was like this. I think it was supposed to be like a moon of Saturn or Jupiter, and it was like a similar thing of like a bunch of these like floating ecologies on top of like the ocean of this planet. It was really cool.
We've got company, Shepard. Must have been right behind us.
Protect the shuttle! Cortez, situation?
Swapping out the parts, Commander. Hang on.
That is a fucking devastating combo. Atmosphere on this Lord of the Steel. It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I bet if I really wanted to nitpick, it probably adds some plot holes. It adds plot holes as it fills others, but in terms of like the atmosphere, it's good. It's also interesting because you're like, I'm still, even though I have vague memories of like what it actually is, I'm still kind of like, what are we, like, what is the Leviathan? Like, you know, what is it? That double bang you hear is why I think it hits twice. It might be.
Cortez, what happened to almost there?
Out of development, Commander. Fixing it now.
It's good. It's effective. How effective is it against bigger targets? Not really. Oops. Oops, everyone's dead. Those like biotic grenades, if you can like get all of them to kind of cluster on a single enemy, they fuck them up. They don't get affected by... Right, they don't get it... Right. They actually have to be under the effect of... Yeah. I've never been good at... I know it's like the central conceit of the gameplay with like a biotic to like use the combos, and I'm just so shit at them, and I always have been.
Another pulse hit me. Flight control scrambled.
Damn it! Cortez is in trouble! Get to him!
If you really wanted to min-max, bring Javik with Dark Channel. I should bring Javik more often. I'm just too much of a sucker for bringing like the originals. Even though I know that Javik is cool and he's got a lot of interesting things, like both character-wise as well as like being gameplay effective. I'm too much of a sucker for bringing Garrus, Tali, and Liara. They're my friends.
Okay, we're clear.
Nice work, Commander.
But there's a development. We need to talk.
Now he just goes like, oh well, now ship broken. It's like, oh okay.
Status.
Shuttle's a mess, Commander. That pulse knocked it right out of the air. We're not going anywhere.
What about the Normandy?
Same thing would happen to her. And the landing won't be as pretty. I'd say Leviathan has some sort of defense system in place.
Then we aren't getting out of here until we find it. So how do we do that?
Well, you might be able to use a mech. Looks like it's rigged for diving.
I'm game. We chased Leviathan this far. Let's finish this.
It's a long ways down. Not gonna sugarcoat it.
You know what? I think, like, I would have actually preferred if there was no combat here.
Shepard, perhaps you are unaware of the degree of risk. Are we
Like, I feel like
seriously
the environment, the atmosphere, the sort of, like, revelations, like, that's enough. We didn't need to have any gunplay here.
These old Ballard-class ships are equipped with exterior power sockets. They use them for emergency repairs. We can strip the cells from the shuttle and use those for juice. Hang on, I'll get you started. Got a cell for you, Commander. Find somewhere to plug that in.
Also, this DLC recycling some of the levels, or the recycling some of the multiplayer mechanics.
Grab another cell, Shepard. We'll hold them all.
In the laboratory, it was escort the drone. In this one, it's the like delivering things to locations.
Got another cell here.
Should really give the multiplayer a shot at some point. You should, if you have the original version, because it works and there's people playing it. Sometimes it takes a couple goes for it to like connect to a game. I think sometimes it says it's connected to the multiplayer, but it's actually not connected to the multiplayer. But once you actually get it in and like it's fresh and properly connected, yeah, you can find games. Fuck off. Also, if you know the console, if you can edit the game to start the console up, to like have the in-game console, and you know the command, you can just give yourself millions of credits so you can get all the weapons and classes.
All right, Commander. Let's get you out of there, and I'll do a systems check.
Listen, Shepard, I'm all for crazy ideas, but this one's off the charts.
We've come too far to stop now. The way home is through Leviathan.
Okay, SEALs check out. Oxygen pressure is nominal. Systems are a go. It's as ready as I can make it.
Let's do this shit.
Let's go.
Take care down there, Commander.
Closing hatch.
Engaging systems. Ready.
Testing comlink.
I read you.
Yeah, do that. Get all the good, all the cool guns, all the multiplayer classes. Fuck around with them.
Commencing time in 3, 2, 1.
Sploosh. Someone with thalassophobia got so squigged out on this back in the day.
Cortez? Cortez!
I love this loading screen. This is like the best loading screen in the game. Look at it. You're just floating down and down and down alone in that huge ocean. It's so good. Oops. Tell me the light wasn't rated for this depth? Come on. And now we're playing Subnautica.
Not sure if you can read me up there. Looks like I finished the major descent. Can't see much from here. Suit is holding up.
You
Emergency
can see the
systems
pressure
have come
meter there in the
online.
bottom right.
Life support operational. Shutting down all non-critical systems to preserve remaining power. Not sure how much juice the emergency thruster will need to get me back to the surface. Can't worry
Again,
about that now.
Commander Shepard doing all this shit, going in like dick first. Yeah, I'm gonna get into this suit and dive to the bottom of the ocean.
Getting some strange readings from the probe. Something is definitely down there.
We're only 3 kilometers beneath the surface of this ocean.
Reading the probe directly below me. Looks like the final drop.
Also, has anyone seen the Abyss?
Can't see anything just yet. Found the probe. Seems intact.
Now that's a fucking durable probe. That thing got shot from space.
What is that?
Oh, fuck.
I had to find you.
This is not your domain. You have breached the darkness.
You killed a Reaper. I need to know why.
They are the enemy. One that seeks our extermination.
But I thought you were a Reaper.
They are only echoes. We existed long before.
Then what are you?
Something more. Your mind belongs to me. Breathe.
Anne? What's happening?
Your memories give voice to our words. Your nature will be revealed to us. Accept this.
You took down a Reaper. You could help win this war. Why the hell are you hiding down here?
There is no war. There is only the harvest.
Then help us stop it.
None have possessed the strength in past cycles. Your own species could be destroyed with a single thought. But you are different. I have witnessed your actions in this cycle. The destruction of Sovereign, the fall of the Collectors, the Reapers perceive you.
Man, this would have been so much cooler if there was like seeds of this in the previous games. Imagine if there was like some breadcrumbs hidden in the previous games that the that the Leviathans were watching the whole time.
Before the cycles, our kind was the apex of life in the galaxy. The lesser species were in our thrall, serving our needs. We grew more powerful and they were cared for, but we could not protect them from themselves. Over time, the species built machines that then destroyed them. Tribute does not fall
I like how everyone in the all of the elder races in this galaxy were just a bunch of tyrant assholes.
An intelligence with a mandate to preserve life at any cost. As the intelligence evolved, it studied the development of civilizations. Its understanding grew until it found a solution. In that instant, it betrayed us. It chose our kind as the first harvest. From our essence, the first Reaper was created.
Of course, Harbinger was the first Reaper.
Harbinger.
You built that machine despite what you saw the other races experience. Why?
Because we're stupid.
Conceive of a galaxy that bends to your will. Every creature, every nation, every planet we discovered became our tools.
I'd love for them to do that with LE. That would have been neat. Although I guess you would say that like it's not really like in keeping. People would think that the game was. People would think that the games were better than they were.
There was no mistake. It still serves its purpose.
How did you remain hidden all this time?
Our extermination is not complete. Some survived and found refuge in the dark corners of the galaxy. I am their progeny. Over the cycles, the Thrall races were controlled, removing traces of our existence as we directed them to. In this way, our survival was kept secret from the Reapers. Today, we reach out through the fragments and watch for discovery.
Fragments? You mean the artifacts we found?
They provide a window into the galaxy.
Like, imagine if you find
through them, we watch.
In like Mass Effect 1, on like every planet in Mass Effect 1, there's one of those artifacts. Just like, nothing is called attention to it. Nothing. It's like on a shelf. It's in a corner. It's being studied in some lab, and there's nothing to draw attention to it at all, but it's there. Fuck, that would have been such a good little like Easter egg setup.
How did the intelligence defeat you?
To find a solution, it required information.
Yeah, especially Ilos. Like, imagine if they were just like everywhere, but like just hidden, just like, and nothing brought it to nothing. And like, if I was the dev, I would just call them like, in like, to fight against data miners, I would call them like Sphere, Glowing Sphere 1 or something like that.
Tell me about the Reapers.
Each harvest ends with the birth of a Reaper, perfect in its design, each formed in Harbinger's image, our image. Each Reaper has the power to influence organics. Over countless cycles, this ability was refined, perfected, and gave rise to indoctrination.
But why?
What's the point of all these harvests?
The intelligence has one purpose: preservation of life. That purpose is not being fulfilled. It directed the Reapers to create the mass relays to speed the time between cycles for greatest efficiency. The galaxy itself became an experiment. Evolution its tool.
Will it ever end?
Unknown. Until the intelligence finds what it's looking for.
So I guess on a long enough time scale, eventually the Reapers would be satisfied with the results of like the cycle or evolution or whatever.
What do you know about the Crucible?
We have watched its construction before. It has never been completed. Those who have tried still fell victim to the harvest. Its outcome is unknown.
Okay, you made your point. Will you help stop the cycle?
I have searched your mind. You are an anomaly, yet that is not enough.
Wait!
The cycle will continue.
No! You've been watching. You know this cycle is different.
We will survive. You will remain here as a servant of our needs. The Reapers will harvest the rest.
You release me, no one has to be harvested.
Nothing will change.
This is your fault.
You're responsible for this. Every race that's ever been destroyed is because of you. And now the Reapers will destroy you too, unless you start fighting. Even if you survive the battle today, the Reapers won't stop. Ever. Release me and we have a chance to end this once and for all.
Giant assholes hiding here.
Your confidence is singular.
I've earned it. Out there fighting, where you should be.
It is clear why the Reapers perceive you as a threat. Your victories are more than a product of chance.
Yeah, Shepard has main character energy.
Or any lesser race. We were the first, the apex race. We will survive. And the Reapers who trespass on this world.
So, like, I have a question. If you're the apex race, why did you screw the entire galaxy for all of history? That doesn't sound like something the apex race would do. That sounds like something a bunch of absolute fucking morons would do. That part I remember. That's the only part of this DLC I remembered outside of the lab, is the conversation with the Leviathans. And this, like, whole abyss sort of go to the bottom of the ocean thing. Hi, I'm Commander Shepard, and I've just been mind-fucked by an ancient squid octopus alien. Of course, Garrus is the one. He has to help his bro out. I'm Commander Shepard. This is my favorite Leviathan on the Citadel. Weird pre-rendered cutscenes, switching back between pre-rendered and in-game, as was the style at the time, for no reason whatsoever.
Damn it, we got a Reaper inbound!
Brrr. Huh. We did it.
Wake up. She's freezing.
Why is she coughing? She didn't swallow any water.
You okay?
Yeah. I'm fine.
I had a dream I was drowning.
We're lucky we got you back.
How did it go down there?
We found it. It's real. A lot more than we ever imagined.
So was it worth almost dying for?
Yes.
It was. We exposed it. Pushed it into the light. Whether it likes it or not, it's a part of this war now. And it's gonna help fight.
It sounds like an impressive
Oh, it's a good camera
accomplishment.
angle game. Thank you.
Yeah. One for the history books.
Dun dun dun. And just like that, it unceremoniously ends.
Report.
The Alliance wanted more intelligence on the Reapers. I'd say we got it.
Our people will be studying it for years to come. They're already calling it the Leviathan Codex. It rewrites galactic history as we know it.
Whatever else it means, it
I
tells me
think
the Reapers had a
I think we were
beginning.
very understanding that
Now
nobody
we'll
knew
provide
anything
them
about
with
the
an
history of this galaxy because we're all idiots.
That's one way to look at it. I guess it's the only way. So go out there and make it happen. This is a big step in the right direction, Shepard. Good work.
Thank you, sir.
So your reward for this DLC was the lore dump and some war assets. $400 war assets. Yeah, fucking boy, we did it. That was Leviathan. And you know what? That's better than I remember. That's not bad. I would say that that's worth doing in terms of, like, some really good moments. Really good atmosphere. Like, again, some really good creepiness of, like, what are you finding? What is this Leviathan, you know? And the atmosphere, specifically on that first, like, mining station, and then on the last planet there, going underwater and stuff, real good. Maybe a little short overall, but, you know, you're going to be getting this game today, either in the Legendary Edition, or you already have all the DLC from, like, a Collector's Edition. So yeah, but I would say that that's definitely worth it. That was Leviathan. And we are, again, now one step closer to the end of this game. Shore leave is the last thing to do. We have, and I will be for another time because this stream's coming up to 5 hours. That will be for another time. We're going to do, next stream of this, whenever I do it, is going to be the Citadel DLC. Yeah, 2 streams left. Citadel DLC, which will probably take about, depending, I don't know how long, probably 3 to 4, 5 hours, depending on how much I talk and how much I do. I don't really remember how long it is, but that seems about right. And then there'll be one final stream where we do the entire whole shebang at the end. The Cerberus headquarters, Earth, Crucible, final battle, all that. It's going to be interesting because I have very little memory of, like, that part of the game. The last, like, couple missions, I've probably only done that once or twice, so that's all, like I have, like, images in my brain of certain events. Like, okay, I know this, the Cerberus headquarters, a little bit there. Some memories of fighting through London on Earth. Some memories of, like, the final scene on the Crucible and stuff like that. But, like, details, fucking gone. So it will be interesting to see if the ending is as bad as I remember it. Yeah, but, oh god, this game was much longer than I thought. Coming close to the end, finally. This was a long series, and I'm enjoying kind of coming to an end. It's a good game series. Oh boy, 2 more streams, Mass Effect, and we're done.